Good evening. Tonight I'm going to be speaking with you regarding the digital program Erasmus, which has more recently been rebranded as HP Reveal. I believe that this is an innovative digital technology which will transform teaching and learning within my Year 10 HP classroom. If we drop down in our General Capabilities tab to ICT Capabilities, here you'll see how the new curriculum aims to develop the capabilities to effectively and appropriately access and communicate ideas, information within our new 21st century. As we scroll down, this icon indicates ICT capabilities that are identified in the learning area under the content descriptor elaborators, in which we'll look at later. So we look at the key ideas of ICT capabilities in our general capabilities section. So we look at how students will apply social and ethical protocols and practices when using ICT, and how they will manage and operate ICT within the classroom. Underneath this, we have our organising elements. So particularly with this Year 10 HP class that I'm going to be speaking about, students will create with ICT using the program Erasmus, communicate by filming one another by biomechanical analysis of themselves or their peers. In doing that, they will be managing and operating ICT. And also, this is just more information where you can see that ICT capabilities are now embedded in all subjects from 7 to 10 across our curriculum. Move on to our health and physical education curriculum for years 9 and 10. The focus of this lesson and unit of work is really focusing on the movement and physical activity content descriptors. So in particular, we'll be looking at descriptors 99, which is providing and applying feedback to develop and redefine specialised skill movements in a range of challenging movement situations. Now, with this, if we scroll down in our elaborations, in this particular lesson, we will be providing constructive feedback on their own and others' performance by using movement analysis software to break down a skill or sequence. And we'll see how Erasmus allows students to explain and break down that skill acquisition. We will also be looking at developing and implementing and evaluating movement concepts and strategies for successful outcomes without equipment, which is 101. Further down, we have 103. So students will analyse the impact of effort, space, time, objects and people when composing and performing movement sequences. Now if we drop down in this elaboration, because in this particular lesson we will be meeting this ICT of using ICT to analyse movements and enhance movement sequence performances. Also in this unit we will be looking at descriptor 106, which is transferring understanding from previous movement experiences to create solutions and movement challenges. So students will be able to apply what they've learned through that analysis and breakdown of the biomechanics using this device and transfer that to other sporting events. Rebranded as HP Reveal. So if we follow the link, it will take us to their new redesigned platform. As we scroll down, we check out our Reveal Studio, which will take us to our login page. I'm already logged in. As you can see, I've already created an aura, for this class. So we're looking at centre of the mass and the Fosbury flop. So what I will do is I will have this photo already printed off. This is my trigger photo, and in a high quality picture it will be on the wall in the classroom ready for students to scan. So if I were a student, I would open my app on my iPad, mobile. As you can see, I've already scanned the aura, but for the sake of showing you what the students would do, they would find the photo in the classroom, hold the camera over it to trigger the
When most people stand up, their center of mass is around the belly. But what happens to your center of mass when you lift your hands in the air? Your center of mass moves upwards. It moves all the time as you move through the day, based on how your body is positioned. It can even move outside of your body. When you bend forward, your center of mass is located below your bent belly, in a place where there is no mass at all. Weird to think about, but that's the average position of all your mass. Many objects' center of mass are outside their bodies. Think of donuts or boomerangs. Now look at the Fosbury flop and follow the position of the center of mass of the jumper. The jumper runs very fast, so he can divert his horizontal velocity to vertical velocity, and jumps. Wait for it. There. Look at the jumper's center of mass as his body bends backward. It's below the bar. That is the secret behind the jump. With the old pre-Fosbury techniques, the jumper had to apply enough force to lift his center of mass above the bar by a few inches in order to clear it. The Fosbury flopper doesn't have to do that. The genius of the Fosbury flop is that the jumper can apply the same amount of force but raise his body much higher than before. That means he can raise the bar so high that even when his center of mass can't go any higher, his arcing body can. Fosbury's technique brought the high jump to new heights by splitting the jumper's body away from his center of mass, giving it that much more room to clear higher and higher bars. So the Fosbury flop may be sports history's only great leap forward that is also a great leap backward.
So the beauty of Erasma is now that that trigger picture is up on my classroom wall, as the unit progresses, we look at more biomechanical concepts and how they affect our movement sequences. If students need to refer back to center of mass, the Fosbury flop technique development, they can go up to that photo, scan it again, and it will relay all of the information. Another amazing feature is I can also then lay links to technique websites, other videos, biomechanical analyses of that movement, just to give them that next step of progression and research capabilities if they wish. Students can also make their own auras by filming themselves or their peers and creating an overlay. The process is very simple and easy to use and is available free and accessible through the Education Queensland Firewall networks.